Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for a bloom tray. I just got this mold from Let's Resin. I liked it because it has the edge. So if you want to use it, things don't slide off of it. So I think that's really cool. I've mixed up 10 ounces of craft resin. It's a 1-to-1 low viscosity, really easy, great resin to use. Um, I am going to put about 2 ounces in this cup because I'm going to do a pink edge, and then I'm going to put about 1 ounce in this cup for my white, and then I'm going to put the rest in the tray, trying not to flood it. I don't think I'm going to be able to back it because it's not that thick of a tray. But we'll see. If I'm able to use just a little bit of resin and leave room for like a domed colored back, then I will do that. But I don't know yet how that's going to work out. So I'm also going to try to push the resin into the corners so that I'm using as little resin as possible. It does have to go into the edge a little. And I did put resin in the edge with some little sparkles, and I let that harden before I started this. And this looks like just the right amount of resin to do this. There is not much of an edge left, but we'll see once I get things going if I can put an edge on it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head and put some alcohol inks in. I'm doing some lighter colors because if I do back it, I want to do a darker back. We'll see. I'm using Ranger inks, pink sherbet, juniper, and flannel. I'm going to start with the flannel in the center. Give it a little shake. And I'm just going to go here. And then I'm going to do the pink sherbet. And I am trying to use a bit of color so my dots are a little close together. Maybe in between these two. And then my juniper. Now my juniper I am going to put really close to my pink, or on the edge of my pink, in between each one of those, that spread. Kind of hard to see them now, so I'm just going to drop some down. I'll add more if I need to. It looks like they're spreading a bunch, so I am going to go ahead and just put those down. All right. While those are moving around, actually, here I go. This green spot took up too much room, so I'm going to add a little more pink. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead and mix up our other things. This I am using, it's from Resin. It's pink velvet powder pigment. And I am just going to use a little scoop on my stick. Start very slow so it doesn't fly out of my cup. And then you just have to make sure it's mixed really well so you don't get any clumps of the powder. Let's see what that looks like. All right, that looks good, right? All right, next let's go ahead and mix up our white. Let's check the temperature first. It is about 31 degrees Celsius. Let's go ahead, and I think I'm going to use, I'm using Bloom. This is from Pouring Your Heart Out. I think I'm going to use a little over a pea-sized drop, and then I'm going to look at it. I do want it to be a little on the heavy side. Let's give it a good mix. Let's see, is it white enough? I think it is. I don't want to put it too heavy because then it won't move right and it'll drop, but I think that should be good. Forgot to move my cup. I'm also going to put a little Magnolia Shimmer from Laura's Art Corner in my white. Just a little bit. All right, so that's all mixed up. Let's see how our temperature is doing. All right, almost 32, so we're doing well. Move everything out of my way. All right, so I have my piping bag. I have a 6-ounce cup, 8-inch piping bag. I'm gonna pour my white into it. Now, I was debating letting it warm up even more, but I don't know that I need it to. I think it's okay, the temperature that it's at. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out of my cup. Give it a good tie or twist. I'm gonna cut a tiny little tip off the top. There's just a tiny little tip. All right. And now I'm just debating the approach that I want to take. And I think what I'm going to do, sorry, it took me a minute. I think I'm just going to do spirals where the gray is, or about where the gray is. Got a little bit of light in my eyes, so it's a little difficult to see, but and then for the center, I think I'm just going to I think I missed one on this side. Let's add it in. All right. And then I think I'm going to bring it together by putting just some little lines. All right. And then I'm just going to do some dots. All right, I'm just deciding whether I want to do anything else. I think I am going to take an extra line out here. Oops. My resin's getting thick, so it's not working with me as well, but that's okay. We can make it work. Go back over here and do the same thing. All right. So there we have our white for now. I'm gonna draw on it yet. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pink, and I'm gonna do, oh, I knew I was gonna have something in my way. I had that cup in my way. Even though I work at moving everything out of the way. All right. Now, I'm going to go in and draw on my white. Or in my mica powder. All right. Now we're going to go in and draw the flower a little. All right. So I'm going to go, let's see. All right. I think that is all I'm going to do. I might have pulled through too much over here, but that's okay. We'll see how it comes out. As the resin cures, it does its own little thing anyway. Let's give it a shot of heat. But actually, you know what, to help me out and make me not feel so bad about pulling through too much, let's just put a little extra white there. There we go. Just a little. heat. All right, I'm gonna let this do its thing. We will come back. If I can back it, I'll probably back it on my own. It's very thin, or I won't back it at all and I'll just leave it like this. I would like to put some sort of backing on it. I just don't know if it's gonna work yet. We'll be back. We are back here to back this because I decided I wanted to do something cool. I need to bring in some green because of the green edge. I have some leftover clear, which I am going to need to create the base layer. I did 7 ounces of resin. There is not much of a lip on here, so I don't have room for much resin. But I do need to put a good bit, so we will see how we can get this to work. I also mixed up from Eye Candy Shiro White as my white. I mixed up some Liquitex Hooker's Green to bring that green in. And I did a little bit more of the pink velvet that we used earlier to keep that as one of the things that we're pulling in. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get this clear on board. And as much as I can as possible, because I only poured 7 ounces. And to get some sort of cool effect going, I'm going to need every drop of the 7 ounces. And hope it doesn't overwhelm my mold so that it overflows. We will see. All right. So next I have my white. And I'm sticking to the design in the center. As my place to build from. Now I'm going to use half of my green, even though there isn't much in here, because I want to put it after my pink. So I need to save some. Let's do a little bit more down this end. All right, now our pink. Looks like our mold is starting to fill. I'm starting to get a little bit worried about having enough room. Let's do a little more of the pink. And then the last bit of our green, and we are going to pray that it doesn't overflow. That's all I'm going to do. All right, so I'm hoping it just goes into the edges, that we don't overflow. I'm not going to use alcohol spray for the bubbles. I'll use my torch for the bubbles. Because if I use the alcohol spray, I definitely will go over the edge. It definitely won't dome. It will pour over. Same reason I'm not going to use a heat gun for any bubbles that develop, because it will push it over the edge. Right now, I'm praying that it stays in a domed sort of shape, but we'll see how that goes. Give it a shot of heat all the way around. And now I'm just going to watch it and pray that everything works the way it's supposed to. I think it'll be a really great, cool pour if it works. Fingers crossed, and we'll be back to unmold this when it's ready. All right, we're back. I'm not sure how this came out. You can see over here that it went over the edge, and when it does that, it sort of pulls the resin to one side, so I'm not sure what the other side looks like, but we'll see. If it works out, I can always sand the edges. All right. Oh, wow. It did work out. It worked out fine. It's just gorgeous. I will have to do a little bit of work, probably cut this off and then sand it. But while it's still soft, it is really easy to just give it a snip and then sand. But yeah, look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I hope you can see with the light.